That's just a little bit of fun to just wrap up the year. And again, Erica, you too win a $25 Amazon gift card. So congratulations, Erica and Lisa. So now I'm going to turn it over to Minister Teresa Proctor so we can get on with our session for this evening. Thanks so much for playing.
Yes, thank you so much, Carol. You are absolutely amazing. Can we just give it up for Carol? Can we just give some hand clap emojis for Carol? I mean, she's the one that I'm telling you, the emails that you receive, the links, everything, she does it all. And guess what? We even have 2024 already planned. Yeah, Carol. Yeah, we already know the subjects that we're going to be talking about. The dates are already locked in. That's Carol. That's Carol. That's Carol. Yeah, so I so appreciate you, Carol. You are just dynamic. Thank you so much for your contribution and everything that you do. Look, you see all the hand claps in the chat. That's all for you, Carol. That's all for you. Okay. I'm so pumped about conflict. Tracy, are you pumped about conflict? Steph said, yeah, I'm pumped about conflict as well. I promise you that tonight's training is going to really open up just some new ways of thinking about conflict. We're going to give you some tools and some strategies that you can apply in your, listen at this, in your home life, your ministry life, as well as your work life. By the time we wrap up, you're going to be saying, I should have really paid. I should have paid for this training. I should have. I know, but that's how Faith City Central does it, right? It's all complimentary. So welcome. And for those of you that are with another ministry, type your ministry name into the chat. Come on, represent your ministry. Type it into the chat if you are one of a friend of Faith City Central. Type it into the chat while we launch this evening. Hey, Morgan. Hey, Chanel. Hey, Gina, that's my C group sister. All right, we have Relevant Church in the house. All right, Relevant. Yes. Proclaim churches in the house. Oh, Relevant is deep. Oh, Relevant is trying to take over, y'all. Relevant is taking over. Do you all see this? Relevant is, oh my word. Oh my word. We welcome you. So glad that you all here. So let's dive into our time together. All right. So we're talking about navigating conflict the Bible way, agape and honor in 4D. Okay. And this is what this is our mission for this evening. We're going to identify, listen to this, how to rebrand a challenging person. Oh yeah, we jumping right into it. We jumping right into it, right? We're going to discover how to spot triggers that escalates conflict, because there are some triggers that certainly will escalate conflict. We're going to explore the 8-step conflict transformation in AH4D. That's agape and honor in 4D. And then we're going to wrap up. This is one of my favorites. Highlight 5 insights to work with anyone. Because I'm telling you, one of my mottos is that I can work with anyone. And I want you to say the same. I want you to say the same. Okay. Oh, and we have the Oasis Church. All right. Welcome. Welcome and proclaim. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Absolutely. So glad you all are here. Okay. All right. So listen to this. Romans 12:18 shares with us, if it be possible, as much as lieth in you, live peaceably with all men. So what does this share with us? That guess what? It's all based upon, contingent upon what lies on the inside of us. And I just want to pause for a moment to say to you, thank you. Thank you for prioritizing this time on this evening so that you can increase what lies inside of you. So let's go further. Apostle Mike declared probably about maybe a month ago or so now, He said, I'm in the middle of a miracle. Come on, just type me into the chat if you're in the middle of a miracle. Are you in the middle of a miracle? Come on, Kathy said, me. Yes, yes. Minister Yvette says, smack dab in the middle. I know that's right. Smack dab in the middle. Absolutely. Yes, Minister Digna. Me. That's right. That's right, Chandra. Absolutely, Monica. That's it. Come on, Chanel. Me. Okay. So since we are all in agreement that we are in the middle of a miracle, we cannot allow conflict to delay the manifestation of that miracle and or miracles, plural, right? Right, Janice? We cannot allow conflict to delay the manifestation of the miracles, right? So I'm telling you, this right here, this is where it all starts. So remember, I told you we're going to dive right in. Our first topic here is how to identify, how to rebrand a challenging person, right? Because, you know, there are some people in our lives that are there to challenge us, to make us better. You see how I think about this, to make us better, right? So how do we rebrand them? What does that look like? Well, first, let's define conflict. Conflict is a state of opposition, is disagreement, is incompatibility between two or more people or groups of people. And I like to say conflict is healthy. And the reason being is because, Morgan, if you and I always agree on everything, one of us isn't needed, right? There should be some disagreement. There should be some distinction of thought, right? So that we can, guess what? We can expand. We can do more when we have healthy disagreement, right? So conflict is good as long as it's healthy. So when we talk about brand reframe, see, there are some people that you have branded in your mind. In your mind, listen to me, Bridget. There are some people that you have branded. What do you mean, Teresa? You've given them a label, right? So let's start off with something positive. You may say, you know what, Curl is a leader of excellence. Like every time I see Curl, I see excellence. And every time Curl sends an email, I'll say, oh yeah, that's Carol is on brand. She's on brand because she's demonstrating excellence, right? But there's the other side of that. There's some people that you have given a different brand. I'll give you an example. Oh, you know what? This person, they're just so lazy. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. They're just so lazy. They're just so lazy. And you think about this person being challenging. What comes up for you? Like, I'm talking about that person that kind of like, oh, you receive an email from them, right? You can, okay, let me just, okay. But what brand have you given a person that has been identified as challenging? Type it into the chat for me. What, just let's play around with this for a moment, right? I said lazy, like that person that's, oh, you know what, man, they just kind of lazy, right? Oh, a know-it-all. Yes, indecisive, right? Absolutely. What else? Come on, we getting real down to it. Trifling. Oh my. Special. I like that, Angela. Right? Oh, unique. Oh, come on. Annoying. Yes. Difficult, interesting, extra, disagreeable, cocky, slowful. Defensive, controlling. Okay, okay. All right, let's take one. Let's take one. Okay, so Tiffany says nasty, right? Tiffany, I said this person is nasty. So with Tiffany's response, how can we reframe someone that may just be abrasive or nasty? What's a new brand that we can give them? While you're thinking about that, I'm gonna give you an example. Okay, so my word was lazy, right? So to rebrand or to reframe my thought process about this person, I'm not going to say they're lazy. Here's the refrain. I'm going to say they're paced. You know what? They're not lazy. They're just paced, right? You see. Okay, so that person that's nasty. Oh, Gina said they're just misunderstood. I like that. All right, direct. Okay, absolutely. Oh, Erica said, need to be loved. Absolutely. Do you all feel the difference with the reframe? Like it allows you to put on a new set of lens when it comes to working and interfacing with this person, right? And it causes you to really step into understanding and curiosity around the individual. Oh, sweet. Someone says, okay, so let's do another one. Let's do another one. Okay. Uh, annoying. Jaquita said annoying. Okay, so how can we reframe annoying? That person that's annoying. What's a reframe that we can give them? Type it into the chat. Relentless. Oh, I like that. Oh, and Sandra says refreshing. Okay, a straight shooter. Okay, diplomatic. Yes. D. Gibson said, do not know better. They don't know no better. No better. They don't know no better. Oh, I like that. I like that. Inquisitive. Oh, provides feedback, Morgan said. Okay, this is so good. This is so good. Okay, one more. Let's do one more. Okay, let's do, okay, immature. Someone that has been branded as immature. Let's rebrand. Let's rebrand. Oh, developing, still growing. Oh, you know what? T said, oh, they're just a little playful. I love it. Needs to grow. Learning. This is so good. Okay, so tell me, what does this do for you? Just this simple strategy, type it into the chat. What does it do for you when you reframe, give them a new brand? What does it do for you? Right? That's it. It changes your perspective and it changes the mindset. That's right, Minister Dick. It changes your mindset about the individual, right? It shifts your thinking, a more positive perspective. Karen says, see others through agape. Oh, come on, Gina. Gina said, it makes me check myself. Oh, high five. I love it. That's it. And it allows you to see through God's eyes. Come on, I knew somebody was going to go deep. That was deep. That was deep. That was deep, right? Helps me to see them differently. Okay, good. Okay, so we're all on the same page with this strategy. So now when you see that person, oh, here comes, oh, you know what? They're just a little inquisitive, right? And now you can help others inside of your workplace, inside of your ministry. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to shift your perspective, right? Expands my thinking, Marcella says, and shifts the focus. And guess what? Marcella, when you said shift the focus, it made me think about it also helps me to reduce my stress. It's a stress reducer, right? Because my focus is no longer, oh, I have to down deal with this. No. I get to work with this person. It's a privilege to be in partnership with them. Okay. I want to share with you. I did a training at the government, what was it? Publishing office, GPO, and we did this same exercise. I said, let me share this with you. These are some of the things that they said, right? They said that dumb people was the was one for them. And I said, how can we reframe it? They said uninformed or curious. Inconsiderate, they're just distracted. Stubborn, strong-willed. Wait a minute, I gotta say this one. Someone said snitch. I said, well, hold on now. hold on. They said snitch, Minister Freddie. And then we changed that to, you know what? They're just honest. What about for that person that is selfish? No, they're just self-loving. What about that person that's two-faced? No, they're just adaptable. Annoying, they're energetic, right? So you get it, you get it, you get it. Okay, so good, good, good. Let's go deeper. Let's go deeper. All right. So now we're talking about how to discover, right? How do we spot these triggers that escalates conflict? We've focused on the brand reframe. Now I want to go even deeper with my understanding about those that I labor amongst, right? Those that I'm working with, those that are in my family, that, you know, and we have Thanksgiving coming up soon where we're all getting with the family. So this could not be at a better time, right? So Dr. David Rock, he's a neuroscientist, right? He came up with this model called the SCARF model. And what it is that it helps us to understand the needs of others, right? The needs of others and how we can adjust accordingly, which will then reduce conflict, the unhealthy conflict, right? So I want to break this down. In the SCARF model, the S stands for status, right? So a person that I'm working with that's driven by status, or listen to this, there's a threat that's activated to them if their status is compromised, then now I know how to work toward agape and honor when I'm in collaboration with them. So the status speaks to making them feel valued. A person that is gets activated by status, I need to make certain that they're feeling valued. And someone shared earlier, needs more love, right? So that's the status. The C is for certainty, right? So with some people, they get activated when there's uncertainty. When there's uncertainty, they feel challenged. They feel like, oh my goodness, the conflict just begins to escalate because there's uncertainty. So how do I ensure that there's clarity? That there's clarity in my delivery, in my instructions, in my communication, right? The A is for autonomy. This speaks to giving a person a choice, right? So when you give a person a choice, it's rewarding to the brain. Like, oh, I have a choice here. For example, would you like to meet at 8 a.m. or 8:30 a.m. or, you know, another time? But it's always giving them a choice in the matter. How would you like to do this? Would you like to do it this way or that way? Giving them a choice helps to reduce conflict because they don't feel threatened. Relatedness. Relatedness speaks to belonging, making them feel like they're a part of the team, a part of the ministry, right? Like, how do I make certain that there's a sense of belonging when working with this type of individual? And lastly, fairness, right? So I need to make certain that I ensure that everyone is treated fairly. There's equity, right? Things are done in an equitable fashion. This SCARF model alone will reduce conflict and build connection. Because now I know that certainty is an area that you really want to, you like to stay. How do I know a person is driven by certainty? They ask a lot of questions. They ask, you know what, I have a question. Okay, so this is a person that I need to make certain that certainty is always demonstrated with them, because this will reduce conflict and build connection, right? Okay. Okay. So that is how we work that SCARF model. Let's go deeper. Okay. And listen to this. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God. When we step into the understanding with one, the brand reframe, And two, understanding what may be a trigger for an individual. I help them to keep their hearts pure as well as mine, right? This is how we navigate conflict the Bible way. All right, amen. Okay, so here's another side of it, is that I need to ensure that my empathy is elevated. On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being, oh, Teresa, my empathy is just amazing. Amazing, right? Type into the chat, where are you? How would you track your level of empathy on a scale of 1 to 10? All right. Okay. All right. We have 4, 8, 10. All right. All right. Awesome. Okay. Excellent. Excellent. Oh, ooh, we have some great empathy here. Thank you all so much for your transparency. 7.5-ish. Okay. All right. Donovan says 10. Okay. Awesome. Awesome. Wonderful. So for those of you that says, you know what, I'm not quite at a 10 yet, and even for those of you that did say 10, guess what? This is an opportunity for you to help someone else to build upon their empathy, right? Minister Digna says it could be a 7 or 8 contingent upon the circumstances. Yeah, sometimes it is contingent upon what type of circumstance we're in at the moment. So here's how we build our empathy. Number one, it starts with listening. Listening. Now, listening is sometimes it can be like, especially when can we just be honest? You know how we have those individuals that like to take the long way home in their conversations? Can we just be honest? Right? And you kind of like, oh, okay, I'm back. right, 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 right. So, Melanie, listening will involve, okay, I'm listening to be interested. Like, I'm going to be interested, Victoria, in what you have to share. So now I'm like listening to your every word. I'm not listening to respond. I'm listening because I want to be interested. I want to be, when you finish speaking, I want to ask you a question relative to what you just shared with me to let you know that, hey, I'm present and I'm listening, right? Some listen to be interesting, meaning I'm just simply listening to respond. What you said was good. I'm trying to hey, listen, I'm trying to upstage what you just shared. No, that's 3D. That's not what we desire to be, right? We're talking about agape and honor. So we're present with agape honor. We're listening. We're listening to what's being said and even what's not being said. Examine your attitude in the moment. What am I feeling when I'm speaking to this particular individual, right? And I like what someone shared earlier. Hey, Gina shared it. Hey, sometimes I just need to check myself, right? Prioritize gratitude. This is a big one. This is a big one, right? So I can't be bitter or angry and grateful at the same time. It's not a match, right? So how do I prioritize gratitude? One, internally, and two, externally. So for that person that I had to reframe, I had to go through the brand reframe with. So now I'm going to find something that I'm grateful about with this particular person, right? We bless those that persecute us, right? So what could I say about them? Because guess what? Going back to status, they may just simply need to feel valued. Remember, the motto is that you can work with anyone. Okay. So now with that person, I'm letting them know, hey, listen, I just want to share with you that we would not have gotten this project accomplished if it wasn't for you. I'm telling you, you made such great contribution. I appreciate you. What? Yes, yes. Victoria says it could be the small things that add to the big things to simply be grateful. Yes, and yes, right? In Minister Freddie's voice. Yes, and yes. Okay. I would like to see more affordable webinars to assist really awesome people. Okay, we're going to come back to that. Okay, so withhold judgment. Sometimes we step into judgment quickly, right? So we just got to say, no, no, let me not make assumption here. Let me not assume. So we got to challenge our assumption, withhold judgment, practice understanding. That's that walking. Listen, remember we used to say that empathy is stepping into the other person's shoes. Do you remember that? Yeah. Yeah. Guess what? You'll never be able to do that. You'll never be able to walk in another person's shoes, right? So that right there, we already off. And we're then discrediting that person's lived experiences, right? However, we can simply, Sharon, just practice understanding. We can just simply practice understanding, right? Next, perfect service. Perfect service. Like, how can I support you? How can I serve you? When I tell you that person that we just did that brand reframe, you offer your support or service, they don't know. They don't. What? Wait a minute. Where's this come? Is everything? Are you okay? You asking now? Because I know I haven't been treating you right, and you offering to help me. That's right. That's right. I am. Okay. Lastly, show compassion. Show compassion. This speaks to showing them care, right? Showing them how much you care. People don't want to know how much you know till they know how much you care. I care about you. And that care alone will make the person feel seen. Wow, somebody cares about me. Pastor Dwayne shared in the Bible study, he said this. He said, sometimes you got to look past the person and think about the pain that they may possibly be experiencing, right? So when I show compassion, when I show care, I'm looking past everything else, right? And I'm demonstrating that I care. Okay. So that's how we boost our empathy and help others to do the same. All right. Awesome. So now we're talking about resolution, transformation. Okay. I've encountered the conflict already, Teresa, because I didn't have this training. Right. So I've encountered the conflict, and how do I address it? Right. And this is so vitally important because not everyone knows how to address conflict, right? I remember there was one lady, one of my colleagues. She's a leader and she leads a team, right? And two of her team members were having a conflict, and so she gets them together and she said, "Hey, listen, we're all leaders, we're all adults here. This can be worked out." And Tracy, she puts both of them in the room and says, "Hey, guess what? You all work this out. I'll be back. I'm giving you this time, and let's come up with some resolution." Well, guess what? About maybe 5 minutes or so, she heard some elevated voices, Minister Yvette. She heard a door slam, and she was like, "Okay, so wait a minute. This didn't go as planned," because she assumed that both parties knew how to address conflict, and we can't afford to assume, right? So let's talk about why should an AH4D, an agape and honor in 4D response, why should it matter? Why should it matter that we respond in agape and honor when it comes to conflict? Well, guess what? Number one, it fulfills the commandment, right? That John 13, 34, 35, as I have loved you, right? It improves relationships. Let me tell you something. in my business, I cannot tell you the time that I've spent money to advertise. You want to know why? Is because I'm intentional about building quality relationships, right? And let me tell you what else it does. It fosters mutual respect for each other. It builds confidence. And last but not least, it sets you up for promotion. It sets you up for promotion, heavenly promotion, as well as earthly promotion, right? Because problem solvers get promoted. What? Problem solvers get promoted. They're the ones that get paid, right? And so this is why it matters how we respond, okay? This is why it matters. Yes, yes, absolutely, Noni. Okay. Romans 12 and 17 shares with us, never hold a grudge or try to get even, but plan your life around the noblest way to benefit others. Drop the mic for the TPT. Come on, right? Come on, Gina. Now, NLT says this, same scripture. NLT says this, never pay back evil with more evil, right? Like, oh, okay. Oh, that's what you're doing? Oh, watch this. No. We're standing for D. Do things in such a way that everyone can see that you are honorable. Listen, people are always watching you. Always. Even when you think no one is watching, they're watching. Strangers are watching you. Family members are watching you. Ministry, sisters and brothers are watching. You're always being watched, especially with those that are non-believers that don't have a Bible regiment such as you do. They don't read the word, but guess what? Every time they observe your life, they're reading the word of God based upon how you show up. Okay, let's go. It starts here, establishing some healthy boundaries. Now, this is something that sometimes we don't like to state. We don't like to talk about saying no. That's right, Marcella. We are living epistles. Come on. That's it. Uh, my husband said, my wife says that all the time. Okay, thank you, honey. Okay, so how do we say no with diplomacy and tact? Here's how you remember it. Is USA. USA. First, give an understanding statement because you already know that you want to decline the offer. Right? You want to say no, but how can I do this? I'm going to give an understanding statement. Like, you know what, Tracy, I understand that you would like for me to assist, and I can understand how important this is for you. Okay, so here's the S. Here's the situation. I have another commitment that would absolutely not position me to give you 100%. Okay. But here's the action statement. But here's what I can do. I can ask around to see if there will be anyone else available for that time that you've requested. USA. Understanding statement, situation, and the action statement will position you to say no with diplomacy intact, because there are some things that you should be saying no to, but you've said yes to, and it's causing conflict because you said yes. Okay, I'll just pause for a moment so that you can digest that. Yes. Okay. All right. So those are healthy boundaries. Yes. Minister Yvette says, I'm learning to say no. I had to get a revelation that saying no is not always bad. It certainly is not. It certainly is not. right? And that's freedom, Lisa said. That's liberty for sure, right? But guess what? I also have to give this caveat, which is there are some things that you should be saying yes to, okay? But you got to make certain that you have fellowship with Holy Spirit so that you will be in alignment with the good, acceptable, and perfect will of God. So don't take this healthy boundaries thing and say, Teresa told me just to say no. No. You ain't getting me in trouble. Nope, not gonna do it. Not gonna do it. Okay, yes, absolutely. So now let's dive into, here is the 8-step conflict transformation. Okay, so when there's conflict and now you're looking to find remedy, you're looking to find resolve. Okay, first thing you want to do is have an effective environment, right? And what I mean by that is, like, say for example, if there's someone at your office and the person, this person loves nature, right? Loves, the scenery or what have you. You may say to them, hey, do you mind at lunch that, we go for, just a quick little walk? Do you mind if we take a walk together? Oh, wow. I would love, how much I love taking walks. And today it was so nice. It was like 70 degrees. Today would have been perfect to take a walk. I digress. Okay, so effective environment. Okay, here's another one. Say, for example, you're in the boardroom, right? And you want to sit on the same side as the person that you're conversing with, because you don't want there to be any barrier between you and the individual. You still want to give them their space, right? But you want to make certain that there's no barrier, because then that gives the impression non-verbally that it's us against them, me against you, but we're on the same side. It gives the expression we're on the same team. Okay, you want to communicate with clarity, right? You want to communicate with clarity. And this communication, we want to make certain that we're not treating a symptom, but we're getting to the root cause. And so that's going to have me to step into curiosity rather than assumption. Meaning that I'm not going to say, this is the reason why we're having this conflict. No. I'm going to ask questions. So have you noticed that there has been a little something happening between, us, in our conversation, right? That's it, Carol. You want to ask questions. Have you noticed any distinction in our interfacing or the way that we work and collaborate? Okay, because then we can get to the root. What area can I assume responsibility? Okay, now guess what? There may be some times where you really know the other person is at 100%, they're the ones that's at fault, right? Let's just say that scenario. They're the ones that's at fault. But what could I assume responsibility with? Okay, so say for example, it was about some email correspondence, right? And something happened with the email, ... right? But how can I assume responsibility? And the person misread the email. Clearly, they looked at the email, they say, oh, you know what, Teresa, you were right. I missed it. But I want to assume responsibility as well. Well, you know what? I could have reworded it a little differently. So now the person doesn't feel like they're threatened. They feel like we're collaborating. We're in this together, right? They don't feel like they're on an island because, hey, I'm working in collaboration. And Minister Digna says I had the 24-hour rule. I wait 24 hours before responding. All right now. Yeah. And listen. And sometimes we have that time. Sometimes we have 24 hours, right? And then other times we don't. Okay. And so the times that we do have the 24 hours, yes, let's sit for a moment, pray about it, come back, and then respond. And then in the cases where we don't have the 24 hours, we got to pray for a quick work, right? Identify the situation is key. Identifying the situation, right? We want to get right to the root cause. Gina says, asking open-ended questions gives a chance for better understanding. Absolutely. Yes. Erica says, a quick walk to the ladies' room while praying. High five, Erica. I'm trying to tell you, it works. It works. And listen, I'm glad Erica mentioned that, because when I'm dealing with or working towards conflict transformation, I'm not going to say to an individual, you know what, I need to take a walk because give me a minute. Give me a minute. No, they don't need to know all that, right? They don't need to know all that. Or we just say, hey, you know what? I know that we really, really will benefit from a good conversation. Do you mind? Can you give me just until about, I have to handle something really quickly. Could you give me to about maybe just like 15 minutes, right? Oh yeah, sure. Right? Okay, awesome, good stuff. Okay, so now the next thing I want to do, we talked about this, being curious, right? Ask for a win-win solution. We don't want the other party to walk out or to step out of this interaction feeling like, oh, well, yeah, they won again, right? No. What could I do in support of you? How can you, I want you to walk out of this a meeting feeling like we both won. We're both operating on the same sheet of music. We're both operating in agape and honor, you know, or care and compassion, right? Next is develop a course of action. Okay, so what am I going to commit to? What are you going to commit to? And here's what's so critical. Here's what's really critical. Establishing a date to check in. Establishing a date to check the pulse of our success, right? With this particular challenge. You gotta establish a check-in date. Here's the reason why. Because how many times have you met with someone, talked it out, thought that things were going just beautifully, only to find out that it's come back up again? But we've never established a check-in or a follow-up on the success to even know. It's a part of the communication process for sure, Desi. Absolutely. Yes, Noni. And lastly, here's another good piece. You want to wrap up this conversation, this discussion. Thank you. I mean, sincerely. Thank you so much for taking the time to meet with me. I really appreciate this time with you. And here's what else I do. I forecast for the corporate world, prophesy for the spiritual. I forecast or prophesy the outcome. Listen, thank you so much for your excellence. Thank you so much for your collaboration. Thank you so much for your contribution. Whatever it is that you desire to see from that relationship, you insert it in the thank you. So I shall decree a thing, and it shall be established, and the light shall shine upon thy ways, right? So that's what you have to do in the thank you. You got to include that. So that's how we transform any conflict. All right, we're doing good on time. And listen at this, Romans 12:20. I like this right here. Win him or her over with kindness. For your surprising generosity will awaken his conscience, and God will reward you with favor. Come on, Gina. Situation diffused. Mission accomplished. Agape and honor in 4D demonstrated. Come on now, right? Absolutely. Listen at this. Whatever anybody said. Now, this is the former CEO of Pepsi, right? This is what the quote from them, right? It says, whatever anybody says or does, assume positive intent. Assume positive intent. Sometimes we go right to the left. Oh, you know what? I know what that's about. No, no, no. We're wiping the slate clean. Okay? Assume positive intent, and you will be amazed at how your whole approach to a person or a problem becomes very different. Oh, I had to share that because it's so true. Desi said, I just told my daughter that 3 days ago. All right, come on, 3. That's one of my favorite numbers. Okay, so as we wrap up, we're doing great on time. Okay, so this right here is highlight 5 insights to work with anyone, right? 5 insights to work with anyone as we come to a close. Pastor Dwayne said this: just because they invited you to the conflict doesn't mean you have to show up. Yeah, remember we just gave you some healthy boundaries on saying no, thank you. No, thank you. We're talking about the unhealthy conflict, not the healthy conflict, right? So as we wrap up, 5 insights to work with anyone. Listen at this. I want you all to jot this down. I want you all to jot this down, right? Number 1, listen at this. Stop talking about how miserable they are. Stop talking about how miserable they are. Like, oh, you know what, this person, dot, dot, dot. Yeah, you're feeding life into it. So just stop it. Stop it, right? The more life you give it, the more life it will have. Okay? So no longer talk about what went wrong. Okay? We're assuming positive intent, clean slate. Number 2, avoid creating superficial scenarios in your mind. Avoid creating superficial scenarios in your mind. Oh, wow. I know that this person didn't speak to me this morning. Guess what? They might have just been focused. They didn't even listen. They were so focused that really they didn't even pay attention that you were right there. Right? Sometimes we go on roller coaster rides with those superficial thoughts, right? Yeah, and we want to stay away from that. Number 3, I have to reiterate this. Find reasons to be grateful for that person. That person. Find reasons to be grateful for that person. That is so vitally important, right? Because we don't know what they may be going through, right? They might need to be seen. They may need autonomy. They may need to feel valued, okay? Number 4, set healthy boundaries. Set healthy boundaries. Set healthy boundaries. And number 5, listen at this. If you continually have a difficult time with people that you consider to be challenging or difficult, the difficult person or the challenging person may be you. Yeah. If you continuously find yourself in conflict, like, gosh, that seems like I can't run away. It seems like every time I self-check, self-introspection, what do I need to do differently? How do I need to show up differently? Right? Because there's something internally that I'm magnetizing. So is it my attitude? Is it the way that I'm my facial expressions? Is it the way that I communicate, right? Checking oneself. Absolutely, Victoria. Okay. And listen, Matthew 3:8 shares with us, you prove your repentance by a changed life. So if it is something that I can work on, then guess what? I'm going to prioritize that with change behavior. Okay? I'm going to prioritize that with change behavior. So our mission has been accomplished. We identified how to rebrand a challenging person. We've discovered how to spot triggers that could escalate conflict, right? We've explored the 8-step conflict transformation in agape and honor in 4D. We've highlighted 5 insights to work with anyone. Anyone. Absolutely. Absolutely. And I leave you with this scripture right here, Hebrews 6:10. As we wrap up, navigating conflict the Bible way, agape and honor in 4D says, for God, the faithful one, is not unfair. How can he forget the beautiful work that you've done for him? He remembers the love you demonstrate as you continually serve his beloved ones for the glory of his name. And that is you. That's you. That's you. 1000%. So document one area of focus that you're going to focus on. Because remember, it's all about checking ourselves too, right? So do that as a result of our time together. And I just want to say again, thank you all so very much. But before we wrap up, I'm going to turn it back over to Curl. Curl, I'm turning it back over to you. You've been amazing. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. Oh my goodness, that was so awesome. Someone said, oh, this was so timely. And I so agree. The holidays are coming, but we're also dealing with all the stresses of the workplace, right? And dealing with people in general. So thank you so much, Minister Teresa. So we actually send out a survey every time we send out the replays for these sessions, and we like hearing your feedback. We send the surveys out because we want to get better. We want to be responsive to the things that you need. We want to be responsive to helping you grow and develop, whether in the workplace, in your family, or business, or otherwise. So really, we are asking in this moment that you would take the time, and I'm gonna, oh, Teresa, could you, okay, she dropped it in the chat. Wonderful. If you could just click on that link and take 5 minutes and fill out this survey for us. Let us know how the session was tonight, what you gained from the session, so that we can begin planning other sessions that are similar, of interest to you, so that not only do you get your needs met, but we serve our purpose as well as the TQM team. So with that, I am going to say thank you for joining us tonight. We're just a little bit over, and we don't like to do that, but if you could really just click on that link before we sign off and really just fill that survey out, we would so appreciate it. But thank you so much again for joining us for this final session of 2023. Oh my gosh. This is the last one, unbelievably, but I hope in some way we've dropped some nuggets here and there, whether it's us or our speakers or panelists who joined us on this stage. I'm calling it a stage. Who joined us, who were able to help you increase your life in some way. So thanks again, and good night to you all.